So I was in class 12th and everything was going good. We were all studying and I had this buddy of mine. He was a gem of a person. His name was Arjun. We used to study together, solve questions together and ask doubts to the same teacher together. When I got lost, he motivated me, and when he got lost, I motivated him. The NEET exam came and I got selected into a medical college. Unfortunately, he did not. At that time, he just missed the college by a few marks. You know, when this happens, you get selected and one of your best friends, your study buddies, does not get selected, it actually physically hurts you a lot. Because you know, now you have to continue this journey alone. Immediately after the results, I called him and he started avoiding my calls. He did not even talk to me once. I called his family. His father gave me some weird excuse that I don't really remember right now. Around 3 months passed. I had no idea where this guy was. All of this was back in 2018 when we all used to use button type phones when we were in our tuition classes. So like any normal person, I gave up searching and just continued my journey of first year MBBS in my medical college. I knew that deep inside he might not feel so good while talking to me, so that's why he's avoiding my call. I respected that. But I always had that feeling that one day he might call me and talk to me. 5 months were already passed from NEET and one day my boy gives me a call and he was in Kota. After long discussion, I got to know that his mom wouldn't give him the permission to go to Kota, so his father just made up an excuse that this person is going to some place like Indore or place nearby to study. But in reality, he was actually in Kota. We talked for more than an hour and I remember it was a call from 7:30 to I guess 8:30 or 9 and he told me everything and it felt really nice talking to him. The one thing that clearly struck with me was that now this Arjun which I was talking to was not the Arjun that was my friend 6 months back. This Arjun was so much more determined, so much more motivated to study than the previous one. So he said that he joined this tuition class and they gave him the buildings for staying, and just next to his building is the building of toppers. He said that the batch of the toppers lived in the building next to theirs, so he could clearly see when these guys were sleeping based on whether or not their room ka light on hai off hai. And he told me something. He said, जब तक उनकी light off नहीं होती अनुज, मैं सोता नहीं हूँ. Be it like 3 in the night or 5 in the morning, whatever it is, unless and until they don't sleep, I won't sleep. And no matter what happens, I attend my tuition class every single day. Because इस बार तो मुझे फोड़ के रहना है. Those were his words. He also told me the immense amount of sacrifice that he's doing. He said that whenever he talks to his family, he gets really emotional because he hasn't seen them in so long, and that was the first time he has left his home. So he avoids talking to his family for 7 days at a point so that he should not be distracted. Arjun was a true champion. Fast forward to NEET 2019, he secured a great rank. A rank that got him into a college. I called him and asked him, तुम्हें कौन सा college मिला है? Let me know what counseling you're attending. I can help you with that since I'm your senior technically now. So he just told me he got a college in the periphery and he's going to take that up. And I was really happy that his hard work and sacrifice actually paid off. Whenever you're taking a college near Vidarbha region in Maharashtra, you have to go to GMC Nagpur to attend the counseling session. And one fine day I was walking in GMC Nagpur and I saw Arjun's father. And I went and talked to him, asked, Uncle, क्या हो, कैसे हो, क्या शुरू है? So he said that, बेटा हमें hostel लेना चाहिए या नहीं लेना चाहिए? So I said, कहाँ पे ले रहे हो admission? And his father said कि हमारा admission हो गया बेटा, हमने GMC नागपुर ले लिया. And that's when it clicked to me that the reason he's hiding everything from me is because he wanted to surprise me as my junior in the 19 batch. So I immediately called him and we spent the next day. I gave him a tour of the college and it was a really amazing day. I've been guiding him since the last 4 years and he's really such an amazing person. He has won so many quizzes all throughout MBBS. Really hardworking and I wish him the best. We learned from this story sacrifice. During the NEET days, he wasn't really that bold. He was just a boy. And immediately he had to decide to go to Kota. Then he had to sacrifice on his sleep to study. Then he had to sacrifice on talking to his family because that would serve as a distraction. And lastly, he had to sacrifice around 9 to 12 months to prepare for NEET. So if you're willing to do that sacrifice, only and only then are you in the competition. Story number 2 is something about deception. I personally believe that overconfidence is one of the worst things that a student can have. It will cloud your judgment and prevent you from looking at your own mistakes and learning from them. So again, this is not my story, but a story of one of my dear friends. An old friend, you could say. So the story starts when I was in class 9th. Rakesh was the friend that I'm talking about here. He was the topper of his class. He was, I guess, in F section. I was in section C. I could never ever top my school with the first rank or even the second or the third one, but he was always there within the top 3. And he was a really big inspiration for me to continue studying. Once you are a topper from class 1st to class 10th, a sort of confidence builds up in you and makes you think that you can actually achieve anything. Without confidence, things are really difficult. But when that limit increases by a lot, when you are no longer in the confident zone, but you are in the overconfident zone, that creates a big problem. And finally in 11th and 12th, he entered for NEET in a tuition class which was different from mine, so we absolutely lost touch. I forgot about the guy and continued to do my preparation for NEET. The NEET results came, you know the rest. But the thing was, in this story as well, the old friend Rakesh did not get selected. And 2 years passed. I was in second year MBBS and I was passing through the neighborhood and I saw him. He was, I think, buying something from a sabji wala. And I asked him, bro, what's up? How are you doing? So he told me that he had taken a drop for 2 years and he finally got into a medical college, but it was a private one. So how did one of the most intelligent persons in our school end up as my junior in a private medical college? I personally believe that there could be 10,000 reasons why a person does not succeed in NEET. I am sure that this was not his fault. It was the fault of the education system which had made him so overconfident that he could not see his own shortcomings, his own mistakes, and could not overcome them. He was always on the belief that he could crack things, and once that belief shattered at the end of the first NEET, I don't think he was ever able to fully recover from it. And that may be reflected upon to the next few exams that he gave. The problem with the education system in India is that it focuses quite a lot on regurgitation and not on understanding. So up until class 10th, it is absolutely very easy for you to just regurgitate, spew it on the paper, you will get full marks, you will be the topper of your school. But once you leave the school system behind, once you enter the real world, only and only practical and understanding will help you a lot. No regurgitation, no memorization, only and only if you are able to connect things together, you will be going further in life. And I guess that's the change that hit him the most. So what's the lesson that we actually learn over here? The lesson that I wanted to give you over here is that up until class 10th, no matter what you are scoring, do not be in this overconfidence that I can do anything in the world, I can crack any exam. It's okay. We'll find that out 2 years later when you actually give the exam. Your entire mindset should be just towards preparation and preparation, nothing else. And every time that you fail in an exam, every time you score less in your exams, you have to ask yourself, what did I do wrong and how do I correct it? Story number 3 is something which I like to call addiction. Again, not mine. So there was this guy in our class, he used to be in the top 25 and he was studying really hard. He was trying to score a lot of marks. He was actually in the top 10 in the first few months of the class. Very intelligent guy, everybody looked up to him. All was happening good, but there was a really pretty girl in our class which every single boy had a crush on, including myself. The thing was, we never really had the courage or the guts to go talk to her or ask her a number or message her or whatever. But this guy, the guy in the story, absolutely had the guts. So eventually got to know her and became one of her closest friends over the course of like 4 months. By the way, we were all kind of jealous of him, side note. So one fine day after the test, our guy decides that he's actually going to do it. He's actually going to propose. He's going to ask this girl to be his girlfriend, and it's all going to be great because they have known each other for 3 to 4 months. Yeah, it did not went well. She absolutely rejected him, it broke his heart, and then it spiraled down into so many different things. So he suddenly stopped coming to the tuition class for about 1 week. He did not attend because of the serious amount of pain and heartbreak he was suffering from at that moment. It was the prettiest girl of the class, of course. But the thing was, he lost more than just 1 week due to that heartbreak. That heartbreak actually served as a nidus for a vicious cycle in his life which was about to start. You know, when you're 16 or 17, far away from your home, from your parents, from people who are actually right and want to guide you in the right place, you suffer losses after losses, you feel lost, and you resort to something which is easily available at literally every single shop that you can find. You resort to addictions, which is one of the literal worst things you can ever do to yourself. So he started smoking. If you didn't know, smoking is literally very cheap. You can buy a packet of cigarettes within 100 rupees. And when you start to indulge in all of the activities, you lose the friend group which was actually studious. You actually enter a friend group which is more worse than you currently are. So people who are smokers will actually find people who can smoke and also people who can drink, and together they'll form this amazing club of people who are just flooded with addictions. Class 11 passed, class 12th passed, his addictions got worse and worse, and I think one time he was actually admitted for some kind of lung infection he got. His parents came to Nagpur, they took him back to their own hometown, and I have no idea what happened to the guy. With that amount of non-preparation, whatever could have happened would not have been the best. The moral of the story is that there is a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for you to make a girlfriend, there's a time and place for you to make a boyfriend, and 11th and 12th is neither the time nor the place for you to indulge in anything that is going to break your streak for preparation. Now I'm well aware that in the comments people are going to type there are also healthy relationships out there, but I think the only relationship you should be having class 11 and 12th is with NCRT. Personal opinion, no offense. Enough with the negative stuff, now let me tell you something amazing. Story number 4 is a story of perseverance. Again, not mine. But I would say this one has had the biggest impact on me rather than anything else. Let's call this guy Rohan, and he was the top 5 in our tuition class, and he was really absolutely bright, always worked hard. I sat next to him for the better part of a year, and we always used to talk about kya pad raha hai, kaise pad raha hai, and all of that. But apart from that, one day I asked him his schedule. Ki, what is your timetable for studying? How are you managing everything? So he told me that he has reversed his sleep schedule. So I asked him, kya kiya tune aisa? So he said that whenever tuition class ended at around 1 or 1:30, he used to go back and directly just eat lunch and sleep. He would then wake up at around 8:30 or 9:30 and then just sit down on his bench and start studying till the morning 8 when the tuition classes started in the first place. And I was really shocked and surprised, and he went on to further explain that the reason why he did that was in the night time after like 9:30 or 10, there is literally nobody he can talk to in his own household because everybody's asleep. He could not open the TV because it would disturb everyone. He could not talk to friends on call because everybody is again sleeping. There is nobody online on WhatsApp or any social media that he might be having. Basically, he is in a zone where there are absolutely no distractions. He's in a zone of perfection. And he would just continuously study for roughly 11 to 12 hours. While I myself in class 11th, I don't think I studied more than 5 or 6 hours per day. Class 12 started, however, he had to correct his sleep cycle because there were tests which were scheduled from 3 to 6 in the evening, which was his sleeping time. So he did correct it. But for the better part of 1 year, he was just in that reverse sleep cycle, just studying continuously and continuously. You know, the story does not end here. After NEET, he got selected into the most prestigious medical college, I think, of India. He got selected into Armed Force Medical College, AFMC Pune. Mad respect for him. So after NEET, he called me to his house just to meet one last time before he was leaving for Pune for the interview, and I went inside and I saw something which I will never forget in my entire life. So you know that sticky notes people put up in their walls just to remember a lot of things. Even I had that back in first year, second year. Even during NEET times I had that. The thing was, our guy Rohan had sticky notes on the ceiling. Literally on the ceiling. So there was this bed of his, he used to sleep, and whenever he used to sleep, before sleeping, you just look up to the ceiling and see all the formulas that were written down. How crazy do you have to be to crack NEET is what I always ask myself when I hear crazy stories like this one. But it was something which I saw from my own eyes, and that was the amount of dedication that guy had put into. The moral of the story is that there are people who want to achieve their dreams so badly that they are ready to give up on anything. They are ready to reverse their sleep schedule, put up literal एक सीढ़ी लगा के ऊपर sticky notes चिपका सकते हैं वो. They can do anything for it. Are you one of those people, or are you just another person who is studying and not doing anything? By the way, if you're just another person studying, don't worry. मैं भी ऐसा ही था. मेरा हो गया selection, तुम्हारा भी हो जाएगा. By the way, side note, if you are studying, if you aren't solving MCQs, that is the most mistake you can ever do in your life. So don't do that. Without MCQ solving, there is no way to crack NEET. And one of the best applications out there that will help you solve and build concepts using MCQs that are 100% NCERT based is something called as Basidia. Basidia not only provides you with 100% NCERT based MCQs, but it also provides you with mock tests which are AI based that will give you the most accurate rank prediction, plus videos by expert level faculties for physics, chem and biology. Especially the explanations given at the end of the MCQ modules are crisp and really help you grasp the topic from the core. They also give you a detailed topic wise analysis of what are your weak topics or what are your strong topics. With my coupon code ANUJ10, you can get Basidia at an additional discount from any one of their plans. Plan A being MCQs, concepts, mock tests and custom tests, and Plan B with full access to videos. I personally believe it to be one of the most affordable tools every NEET aspirant should be using right now. I've added a link in the description. I'm sure you would love using the app. And with that, we come to the last story, and this story is actually mine. And it has a lot to do with friends because my life has been influenced by friends a lot. Before NEET, during NEET, after NEET, in MBBS, everywhere I believe I've had a great group of friends. And I guess that was one of the reasons why I studied so hard. My friends were the toppers that were from rank 1 all the way to rank 8 or 9, and we all constantly used to challenge each other, compete with each other so that all of us could study a lot. The first 7 to 8 ranks would be always dominated by us. Very rarely would you see that some other person is going on the top. Fun fact, we all got selected. 3 of the people went to KEM Mumbai, 2 went to GMC Nagpur, 1 guy went to AFMC of course, and 2 people went to AIMS. There's always an atmosphere of healthy competition between us. Moral of the story is that if you're surrounding yourself with a good group of people, that good group of people will actually help you go up and up in life. I know it's really difficult to find such a good group of friends, but you always have to try. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If this was the first time watching me, hi, my name is Anuj Pachhel. I'm a final-year MBBS student at GMC Nagpur. Welcome back to the channel, and please make sure to hit the subscribe button before you go. It would really mean a lot to me. Chalo, thank you so much for watching. It's your boy Anuj. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.